Alright, so it begins in the belly, right here. This is torso and the pelvis region. The belly first activates. When you focus at the belly, it starts to produce volatile spiritual energy, essentially heat. If we look at it from the back angle, the belly starts to energize the kidneys, which produces, its lower and upper energies, or mainly lower energies. Then the next center of the lower belly, I believe in the pelvic region, the bladder probably, they call it the water center. So here we have the belly, you can say it's a fire, the inner fire. You've activated the inner fire. Next what happens is you activate, in Chinese alchemy at least, they call it the water and the fire. Technically we call this the air chakra, which is the heart and the lungs, and then the water, which is the bladder. Once these two have activated, the etheric and the root centers start to activate, the earth, the bowels, the anus. To some extent, the middle between these is the sexual centers, and of course, throat we have here. So essentially what happens is that the vital force starts to activate the heat in the body, the prime mover. Then through the fusion of these, it adds liquid to the body through the blood and through nourishment of the blood, which starts to circulate. Finally, the occultic centers activate. The ether center is the occultic center. I'll tell you why, because it's the gateway to heaven. The earth center is the gateway to hell. The limbs, we have a leg there, arm here, arm here, will then activate like a flow outwards, so to speak. It's like an arrow pointing out with these arrows like that. The head, similar to the genitals, is kind of like an accessory organ, similar to the limbs. You can think this is the six-pointed star. A little better. The six-pointed star. The genitals, the head, the arm, leg. You can also look at it in magic. You don't really need a circle around it, but the upward star represents the life force of the body going up to the head. If you do a magic ritual that does that, that's what it does. Similarly, excuse me, I'm trying to figure out how to do it again. You can see I'm not, okay, that's good enough. You can see I'm not much of a, I gotta level up my black magic if I have trouble doing that. Anyway, the downward pentagram represents taking the energies of the body and putting them into the genital region. Also the earth, technically, similar, upward would also stimulate the air, but it's basically just an upward force. So this is positive, this is negative, this is neutral. I don't know, use a circle for neutral maybe. Sounds good, right? The head is a microcosm of the macrocosm. We have the main middle center, we have the upper and the lower. Hence, when you activate and stimulate the belly, middle of the head stimulates. When you activate the upper activates. When you activate the lower, so to speak. The head doesn't really come online until you've got usually the middle, the macrocosm, the big alchemical, space needs to activate first, and then the small ones, limbs, nerves and such, activate first. I'll go over this in another anatomical video where I talk about the organs related to this, but for now, this is what you should think about and what you should internalize. That's all. Check links in the description if you're interested, and of course, have a nice day.